Welcome to the 24-25 school year here at Quiet Waters. I am Mrs. Gasher, the art teacher. Art, hopefully your favorite special. And I just wanted to go over some of the procedures and rules, and I thought the easiest way to do it would be a video. This way, I remember what I told you, I don't forget anything, and I don't have to say it 9 times every day, which would be really nice. So let's start off with how we'll start the class. We have a little mantra that I got from another art teacher that I just love. So I'll say a phrase and then you repeat it. So we'll start out with, I make messes. I make mistakes. But deep down inside, I got what it takes, because I am an artist. So my artist friends, we're gonna do a lot of fun things in this room. We're gonna do clay and watercolor and paint and oil pastel and crayons and markers, all kinds of fun stuff. And when you're working at your table, you can sit there and you can whisper to your neighbors. But there's gonna be times when I'm gonna need to get your attention again. And so when I need that, we're gonna do the Mona Lisa callback. Now this is my friend Mona Lisa. She's a famous painting that lives in Paris, France. But if you look at Mona, her eyes are looking at me, her mouth is quiet, and her hands are still. So when I want your attention, I'm gonna go Mona, you're gonna go Lisa, Mona, Lisa, Mona, Lisa, and then the third time we're quiet. And then we sit like Mona Lisa, looking at me with our mouths closed and our hands still. Got it? Okay. So let me show you a few other things around the art room. First, when we have those silly lockdown drills, this is where we're gonna go for a lockdown drill. Now, it's a storage room. It's a great place if I have just one class. But when I have those big double classes, we can't all fit there. So then we would go into my big office right here. We would sit down so we can't see through the window. We'd close the door and turn the lights off, and we would hide right there. That's a good spot. Now, if we have a fire drill, we're not gonna yell when that alarm goes off, though that alarm is loud, I admit. But we're gonna go out the front door, we're gonna go through the front gate and go out by the teacher's parking lot. And we'll all stay together and quiet. Now, you know we hand sanitize before we come in the room. We do the left hand out and I squirt and you rub, rub, rub before you come in. The reason we do that outside is because my floor is pretty clean right now. And that hand sanitizer makes these big brown ugly spots on the floor, and I don't want that. So never, ever, 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 ever touch my hand sanitizer while we're in the classroom. But those tissues right there, if you need a tissue, you can always go grab a tissue. There's no problem with that. Just get up and grab it. Now, if you need to go to the bathroom, which hopefully you've gone to the bathroom in your home room and you don't need to go to the bathroom. But if you do, we have to go all the way out here by the music room. You go up the steps to either of those doors that has a smiley face on it. That's where the bathrooms are. And with those, the doors are heavy. You have to make sure you close them. And you have to make sure, make sure those doors are closed and turn the light on. Now, if you look around my room, you notice that we've got things hanging from the ceiling. Those are megaphones with little encouraging verses on them. Like this one's awesome. Another one says, hooray, love it, gold, because we're doing our little sports theme. Now, on your table is also your bins. And your bins are color coordinated for your table. They have your pencils, they have in your eraser, and they also have in these really cool crayons that I made. They're just melted down crayons. And that's what you put on the back of all your papers. You put your name and your table color, so when I'm handing them back out, I know what table you sit at. Now, if you look, there's also numbers. See how we have number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are for your jobs, because I might say, number 1s, go get the crayons. And you would come over here and you would find the crayons for your table color. I might say, number 2, you go get colored pencils or glue, or when we start using paint. And you can see they all have a little sign that tells you what they are. There's also a few over here. And you will take turns on who picks up what. Now, when you come into my room, if you've got like a lunchbox, this is where your lunchbox or water bottle or anything else you may have, they go right here in these cubbies and you can take them on the way out. Now you might say, oh, Mrs. Gasher, what are all those letters and numbers on your door for? Well, that's the order of my day. So like today, I have a double first grade, then another first grade, then kindergarten, fifth grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, then I have lunch. Then I do another double second grade, a second grade, and a third grade, and then it's time for dismissal. So that's what's over there. Now, I want you to come over here and see my drying rack. The drying rack is so important. It has a big old stop sign on it that says stop. Is your name on it? Also, your table color should be on it. Now, what happens when you go to put something in the drying rack and it's full like this? Do you take your paper and put it on top of another one? Oh, no, 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 because then your paper's gonna stick to the other one and maybe ruin what's underneath it. So do you slide it down under here where there's a space? No, because now it may get mixed up with another class and it will be with its friends and I won't know where it is and you won't know where your paper is. And that would be just such a shame. So what you would do is you would just put another row down and then put your paper on the next row. So simple. Now, if you noticed over here, we have what are we learning? So this is our wall right here that each grade has their own board and it'll tell you like kindergarten is the K and it says, I know my different types of lines and I know rainbow order. And then there'll be a list of your supplies that you're gonna need. Then there'll be some examples of what the project's gonna be. And then there may even be some really important words that you need, like here's third grades. Everyone will have one up when we start our projects. Now, last but certainly not least is the Golden Paintbrush Award. Now, I'm gonna do this with 1st through 5th grade. And these are the golden paintbrushes. And what is a golden paintbrush? Well, every time you come in my classroom, you have the opportunity to earn up to 5 points. Like, did you come in nicely? Did you line up? Did you work well? Were you quiet? Did you clean up well? And then the class that has the highest average at the end of the quarter becomes the Golden Paintbrush winner. You get announced on morning announcements. Then you get the paintbrush, gets hung outside your door. So every class that goes by now knows you were the Golden Paintbrush winner. But the best part is, you get an art party. I'll bring out my Legos and my paints and my beads and my Connect 4 and all kinds of cool stuff. And you get a snack. So you want to become a Golden Paintbrush winner. Now you notice it says DD on 2 of them. Well, that's because my double classes, you don't have to compete against the single classes because that's really not fair. So you just compete against the other double classes and there's not as many. So actually your odds are even higher of winning. But let's see who gets the first Golden Paintbrush this year. Now this is the Hall of Shame. You don't ever want to be on the Hall of Shame. That's if you took a paper and you didn't put your name or your table color on it. And I don't know whose it is. And maybe it fell behind the drying rack and I don't even know what class it's from. And I hang it up there. And that's such a shame. You don't ever want to be on the Hall of Shame. The one last thing is this is the early finishing area. Now, this is only for when I feel you finished your project and did a great job and there's nothing more to do, then I will let you get something from the early finisher. And we've got books and rubbing trays and stencils and blocks and all kind of magnetic tiles, all kinds of cool stuff. So, I hope you enjoy this art room as much as I do, and I'm looking forward to a great year.